Have you ever heard of the term red-collar crime? It's a term coined by attorney Frank Perri, who defined it as someone who commits violence or murder in order to conceal their fraud.
What red-collar offenders are is a subgroup of white-collar offenders who kill or attempt to in order to prevent the detection and or disclosure of their fraud scheme.
So, who would be classified as a red-collar criminal? Well, I did a two-part series on this, and it makes me think of the case of Fred Tokar. Fred Tokar was an attorney in Atlanta, think of Better Call Saul, and he was living a double life, laundering money for Atlanta drug lords. His wife had no clue, but when she became suspicious, Tokar hired a hitman to kill her.
Well, what happened was his wife, Sarah, found out about this. And as law enforcement said that she was a ticking time bomb, and that if law enforcement found out about this would have been Frederick's end. He then said that we have to do something about this. He then had one of his criminal associates say, I'm going to give you $25,000. I need you to do this for me. You need to take Sarah out.
The gunman showed up to her house, got her and her kids in the car. They drove about a mile down the road when he shot her with a sawed-off shotgun in the head, right in front of her children. Now, this is a red-collar crime because Tokar was killing his wife because she was getting onto him.
When the person who he contracted to kill with said, what about your kids? He says, they're young, they'll get over it. So that was his response to this criminal who was saying, what about the kids? What the impact? They're young and they'll get over it. Think about it. This was said prior to the homicide.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Like the fact that he did not feel any empathy for his kids, he was able to like turn that part of his brain off.
You may not, maybe you're not turning any part of your brain off. Maybe that's who you are. And that's why I'm sharing with you that anecdotal evidence of somebody who might be psychopathic, who is a white-collar criminal.
Red-collar criminals could be your coworkers who stumble upon a spreadsheet that just doesn't add up. In order to hide the crime, they could take you out. Red-collar criminals could be your business partner. He might be embezzling money. Your business partner finds out, and that's the end of that. For more examples of red-collar criminals, check out my new series called The Red Collar Killer on the Pretend Podcast.